Welcome to this week's Whole Week Costa. Tonight we're going to go away from our AFI 100 greatest movie list. I think we got a good 7 before we did this.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about Alita Battle Angel that came out in 2019.
2019.
So, directed by Robert Rodriguez, produced by James Cameron. Originally going to be directed by James Cameron, but he's working on those
It's a little busy on the
Avatar sequels, which are all going to be terrible.
I don't know, man.
The first one was just terrible.
Patrick Williams did a really good thing on James Cameron about his weird career. I'm pretty sure it's Patrick Williams. About how he's really only made like.
Oh shit! Sorry.
Yeah.
I forgot beer table. Tonight we're having New Belgium Fat Tire out of Colorado. It's an amber ale. They're employee owned and independent.
Oh, really?
Fat Tire is one of my favorite beer flavored beers. Like there's nothing real special about it. It's just good beer.
It's good.
Yeah. See?
But yeah, so yeah, James Cameron's only made a handful of movies. He doesn't make a lot of movies, but every movie he makes is wildly successful. Like Alita's probably like the worst movie has ever done that he's made.
He's produced. He didn't make it. He produced
That's
it.
true.
He didn't direct it.
True.
But so we have me and other movie buffs, we have like these crazy, they're not really crazy theories, but they're kind of crazy theories where The Terminator, which is one of my favorite movies, like I saw we'll get to Alita in a minute, but I saw Terminator 2 Judgment Day first. So it's like an action-packed, like it's constantly moving, and you know it's a very good movie. It's one of the best action movies, one of the best sequels, if not the best sequel of all time, other than The Godfather 2. But before that was this tech noir horror, The Terminator, directed by James Cameron, where like the special effects were groundbreaking. Arnold Schwarzenegger, he was groundbreaking. Like he had movies before this, but like this really elevated his career. So it's like this scary tech noir movie followed up by its action-packed sequel, which is the same thing what happened with the Alien franchise, where Alien, even though I knew there was like a chest burster, I sat down like 2 years ago to actually watch it.
It's a horror movie.
That movie scared the shit out of me, but then it was followed up by its action-packed sequel.
Yeah. So
Aliens.
So you're saying for when we get the sequel to Alita Battle Angel,
which
might happen.
Yeah, it's going to be horror.
Yeah.
It'll change the tide.
Yeah. So there's so much to talk about with this movie. So
First off, we'll do our what we call all over the place synopsis.
You guys should have already watched the movie. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, we got to watch the movie. But so it starts off with Dr. Ito, played by.
Hang on. Sorry, I had the cast up. I clicked away.
Hans Landa.
Christopher Waltz.
Christoph Waltz.
Christoph Waltz
Finds this head and like top of a torso in a dump. And he puts a body on it, and she's completely ignorant and doesn't know what she's doing. And then they pass her ex-wife. We find out that it's his daughter's body. He was going to make his daughter into a cyborg. She plays this rollerball game, Motorball.
Motorball.
It's a ripoff of Rollerball.
It's Motorball.
Yeah, if anybody's ever seen Rollerball, the original or the remake, it's basically a ripoff of that. Less motorcycles, 100% less motorcycles, just as much killing. She meets a guy, they fall in love. He wants to get to the Sky City. Then they work together to get to Sky City. He stops his life of crime for her. A basic love story. Basic,
Yeah.
He gets killed. She's like, I'll get revenge by playing Motorball. I always, the whole time I thought it was Murderball. So, I mean, the synopsis was just terrible. But now Kev can talk about it.
So, I mean, what's really
the
great...
The movie was all over the place.
Yeah, it is a little bit. So, I mean, some of the things that are... I mean, so the things I about this movie, I mean, I think there's a lot of James Cameron stuff to talk about. There's a lot of Zalem That's
Zelem's the Sky City.
Zelem, yeah. Sorry, so I was trying to look up. So
the movie's directed by Robert Rodriguez, who did the El Mariachi trilogy. He did the Spy Kids trilogy.
Yeah.
He directed From Dusk Till Dawn, which I get a lot of people to watch, which is like 2 different movies glued together. And he's done Machete and Machete Kills, Planet Terror. So I think I've seen his entire filmography.
So you sound real drunk whenever you say Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
So first off, Rosa Salazar. Love Rosa Salazar.
Is this the only movie you ever seen her in?
It doesn't matter. She's awesome. One of the sort of jokes I saw in like the YouTube comments for a movie about the making of Alita was essentially like James Cameron going to the CGI artist and was like, okay, we can make her eyes bigger. I'm like, well, wasn't that why we got Rosa? And they're like, no, we need to make her eyes bigger. It doesn't matter. So,
how big do you want them? They're already the size of pecans. Yeah. 2 pecans.
But apparently, so this was a passion project for James Cameron. He's been trying to make it since the early 2000s and kept getting interrupted by other things, including the first Avatar. And apparently wrote this like 600-page script for this movie, which he got Roberto Rodriguez. Robert Rodriguez.
600 script?
Yeah.
600-page script?
Yeah.
You know, like scripts are about 100, 120 pages, right?
So he had a lot of stuff he wanted to say. So he needed someone else to come and like pare it down. And he was really impressed by like what Robert Rodriguez did, like by keeping all what he thought were all the essential scenes. And apparently, it sort of went along the lines of he went to the studio and said, like, look, I'll make Avatar, which is going to make you $1 billion, but I get to make Alita because he's wanted to make it for years. He apparently loves the the comics, the manga, I guess, and apparently flew to Japan to meet with the artist who created Alita to get permission to make the movie a long time ago. And has been keeping him updated the whole time, and the artist has come to the set and you know, and apparently multiple times during filming. So you can see, I mean, he has a lot of love for the material and had a lot of respect for everyone else involved. So I think it's part of what I think makes it such a good movie. Like, I think you can tell the difference when someone's cashing in on a product versus like when it's a really passion project.
Yeah, you can tell he put a lot of love. So that weekend,
yeah,
when I watched Alita,
yeah,
I watched One Punch Man,
yeah,
Alita.
Yeah,
and Detective Pikachu.
Nice.
All based off of manga. I'm basically half Japanese.
You're such a Japanese guy, yeah. So when I watched the movie, we actually watched it for movie night with the kids, because I wanted to see it with the kids when it came out, because I thought they would like it, and they did like it, but it was like so much more violent than I thought it would be.
Oh, it was very violent.
Brutal movie.
Is it rated R?
No, I don't think so, because it's all machine violence.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so you know, Sam, who's 4, was really on the edge of his seat. I mean, we started the movie at like 9:00 at night. I figured the kids would fall asleep.
I'm 30. I was on the edge of my seat.
Yeah, so we started at 9:00 at night because I kind of thought they would fall asleep. And at like 11:15 at night, he's still wide awake. Like literally, so the scene at the end where you know that defense ring is going to come down and kill Hugo. Right. Sam literally jumped out of his chair and was running in place. He was so hyped up at 11:15 at night. Like he was so into this movie. And I thought it was an awesome movie. I was so what ended up happening actually podcast wise is we were going to talk about this last week. We watched it about a week and a half ago, or I guess about a week ago now. And we were supposed to talk about it last week, and then one of these freak storms that we have every week knocked down part of JD's fence. So I came over, hung out with his fiance for a half hour while he was at Home Depot with his father-in-law getting yelled at. And then
I did everything wrong.
And then by the time he got back, he was like, "I don't want to do this." And then so now we're here after I just worked the whole weekend.
Yeah. Well, I worked all weekend too, but on stuff that I want to do.
Yeah.
Oh, the whole Costa Econoline has been stripped of all its old paint.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then mowed all the grass and cleaned up all the sand.
The Costa line.
Yeah, the Costa line.
But anywho, so
we watch movies all the time, like at night, and like we'll stop, cook dinner, eat dinner, or like stop, go to the store, or stop, go do something. This Alita, we were so like thrilled by like we had to leave one point of it.
Yeah.
But like we started it and I was like, oh, we got to get going. And then we got back and we got into it. Like we're an hour into it. And Ray was like, hey, you want to make some dinner? I was like, no, we're ordering dinner. like we only stopped. Like we pulled out the tables. We watched it. Yeah.
I watched the movie again the next day, which this will be the first movie I've watched twice. To talk about on the podcast. I mean, I've watched little bits of other ones, but I don't know. I'm so mad that the movie didn't do better. Like it's in doubt whether there's going to be a sequel or not. Apparently, the DVD sales have been phenomenal, so it probably will get a sequel based on those. But it only probably about broke even.
No, it made double.
Well, so I was looking into it, and apparently a lot of the money was from China, and the studios only get a lot smaller cut of the box office from China.
Okay.
So they thought I think the projection was it would have to make like 400 million to like break even, and it made like 450 or something.
Because the budget was 170, it made 404.
Yeah. I think or maybe it was like 350 to break even, and it made like 400 million. So it did make a little bit of money. Like it wasn't nothing. And again, now it's doing really well on home video. But a lot of it I think is like I wonder how much of it was the controversy. Well, a couple of things. One, I mean,
so I got the breakdown for you.
Yeah.
The production budget was 170.
Yeah.
Its domestic total gross was 85 million.
Okay.
So and then
so that's not much.
The foreign was 319.
Yeah.
So it was domestically it didn't do too well.
Yeah, and that's and I think there was a few issues. So I didn't see it in theaters, even though I wanted to, because I remember that was such a packed time. There like we were in the movies like every weekend, and I still didn't get to see Alita in the movies because there was so much other shit out then.
I just thought it looked like shit, so I didn't like go see it.
So I wanted to see it, but then there was just always something else that I wanted to see a little bit more. So I mean, I don't know how good I felt like the advertising wasn't that good. I felt like most people that I've said I'm talking about this movie this week had never heard of it. So I feel like it wasn't advertised that well. And except for there was a really weird controversy around it, which is I think is one of the most interesting things about this movie. There's a lot to talk about with the actual movie. But I've been fascinated by all of the surrounding stuff, which is that the alt-right loves Alita.
Which is weird.
Because apparently
Alita's about science.
Yeah.
And the alt-right's not.
Well, part of it is that she's sort of like she's like a strong strong woman, but she's not, the one spin I saw is that she's a strong woman, but she's still like a dutiful woman. Like she's not like outspoken. She's a traditional woman, but also strong and powerful, which is part of the in-universe appeal. But there was an out-of-universe very big reason why, which was Captain Marvel came out a few weeks after Alita, so it wasn't a direct competitor even. But
I thought it came out in May.
There was a separation between the two. They were barely in theaters at the same time. Because again, I mean, Alita didn't have a very long run either. So they either weren't in theaters at the same time, or there was barely overlap. But Brie Larson came out and had said some things that some people didn't like, along the lines of like Captain Marvel isn't for white men, which.
Yeah, you're right. Alita came out February 14th, and Captain Marvel's March 8th.
Yeah. So which I think is interesting in multiple ways, because one, I mean, that statement in itself isn't the worst thing in the world to say the movie was. I mean, you can say like the movie was targeted more towards women, but Brie Larson, I mean, I don't know her. I just, from what you see in interviews, seems like she might be a little bit of a cunt. So
let's not use the C word
so
on a podcast.
So the problem, so I think part of it is just that she said it.
Let's see. We'll edit that in. I'll ADR that to butthead. Yeah.
So, so part of it, I think, is that she said it because she comes off, there's all those other rumors that like the other Marvel cast members don't like her and all this other stuff because she's like, just seems like not a very nice person. Again, just from what you see in interviews and like from what's been reported about her. And so I think one, that she said it, and two, like, again, like you have to go with the negative. Like, you can't say, oh, this movie's targeted towards women. You say this movie's not for white men. Like then you're just being like a confrontational dick. Like,
that's way better than the other word you used.
Yeah. Well, but again, like, I don't know. So because of the negativity around her, which I'm sure hurt the box office for Captain Marvel, because Captain Marvel did well, but I thought it was a pretty good movie. I saw it in the theaters.
Well, we talked about it before. I saw Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's way better than Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a really good movie. But there's all this stupid controversy around it because people can't just make a fucking good movie. They have to say all this bullshit around it too. Or it has to mean something or have some, like whatever. Like, just make a fucking good movie. So which part of what I think is interesting about it is that Rosa Salazar and Robert Rodriguez both said things about how the movie, was good for Robert Rodriguez is Mexican American. I'm not sure what Rosa Salazar, what her nationality is.
You want me to look it up?
Nah, that's fine.
Okay.
But she's Latino. She actually said some other form of the word Latino, which I was not familiar with from when I saw in interviews. But they both said about how it was a good step for Latinos and it was important in Latino film and movies. But again, they said the positive. They didn't say, oh, this movie is not for white people. They said this movie is like, it's good. We have a Mexican-American director. It's a Latino lead actress. So they said it positively.
I had no idea she was a Latina.
Well, like either way, they weren't dicks about it. So
Yeah.
there was no controversy about what they said. I mean, so again, you have alt-right people that like Alita with a Mexican American director and a Latina star. So again, so they're just nice, positive people.
But look at the cast. I mean, it's
Yeah.
even more diverse cast. Like,
Yeah.
you have Mahershala Ali.
Yeah.
Black actor.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure he's American, not British. You have a German guy.
Yeah.
A Latina actress.
Yeah.
Mexican director.
So it was.
Mexican American. Like, it's a way more diverse film.
So it was a diverse cast. It was a really good movie. But so anyway, so sort of got off topic there a little bit. But essentially,
Sorry.
So no, I got off topic. So where the alt-right stuff came in was that that people, some of these like conservative bloggers and like, alt-right conservative, not like rational conservative bloggers, came out and basically said, well, Alita is our female superhero,
Well,
just to spite Captain Marvel, not necessarily because they liked Alita.
So, alt-right bloggers.
Mm.
So, non-credible writers.
Yes.
Got
Yeah,
it. Okay. I just threw
Yeah.
that out there.
But like I've wondered, like, how much, because I wasn't following the story super closely at the time. I was aware of it, but so I kind of wonder if that hurt Alita at all. Like, you never want to be like, I was talking to Rachel about this last week, and her thing was like, so basically Nazis support Alita. I was like, kind of like, so I wonder if that hurt the box office at all.
It's really weird for them to support that. It's just, I think they just supported it because
Exactly, just to spite Brie Larson.
Brie Larson, not the movie. Not
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Which is a kind of a shame, but I mean, it's also kind of fascinating that all this went down.
I think the whole, not Brie Larson, but Captain Marvel, like, the best scenes in the movie are between her friend and the daughter.
Yeah.
Where like the daughter's basically like, if you don't do this, like, who am I gonna look up to? You know what I mean? Like the like, after watching that, I'm like, the next Captain Marvel should just go around that mom and her daughter,
Yeah.
like the mom being like a badass, and the daughter's like, look, I have to look up to you. Like, yeah, and Brie Larson, she's cool and all, but like, you're my mom, like, I respect you. Like, those scenes were like the best, and the mom's like, yeah, okay, I'll do it. You know what I mean?
Well, those were the show not tell scenes, and this is where I liked Alita over Captain Marvel, even though I like Captain Marvel too. But Captain Marvel is in this thread of movies that's very in your face, like, this is a girl power movie, and look at girl power, and girl power is awesome. Versus like Alita just showed us an awesome girl. Like she just is powerful, and you showed us a powerful woman, and you didn't have to tell us she's a powerful woman. You didn't have to have, fucking that whatever that girl power song was playing in the fight scene at the end.
Right.
They just showed us a powerful woman. They just showed us. They didn't. It wasn't like on like the one commercial for Captain Marvel where it says her and then it transforms to hero.
Yeah. Well, Jesus Christ.
That's true.
Did you see the part? Now, our once mutual friend Dave had a good theory about this. That he said that he thinks because there was like a bunch of like edits like last minute and everything.
Yeah.
Because like Captain Marvel did well, but it wasn't as well received. He thinks they cut a lot of Captain Marvel film. Like, even though it was shot and filmed and edited and ready for release, Endgame, he thinks they actually went back and edited some of the Captain Marvel scenes out because people were like kind of mad about the movie. Because it was shot and filmed and everything with her. They're all like shot and filmed.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think they left some of it on there. And then at the end of the movie, when Captain Marvel, because like she is like very in your face.
Yeah.
And then they had that whole like a lot of people complained about that scene about like the women of Marvel like coming together and like and doing
that was
they
cheesy.
did a fucking flea flicker with the thing. You know what I mean? Like I see the Eagles do that shit. You know what I mean? Like woman power. But then like she's fighting Thanos and Thanos like rips off like Thanos rips off the power and
stone,
puts it in his hand, like punches her out of the film.
Yeah.
She doesn't return to the end, and like there was an actual like clap when I saw it in theaters. Like you rooted for Thanos for a second.
Well, it's a shame because I think, and again, only from we only have to go by what we know from interviews, but Brie Larson seems unlikable. Like,
well, she makes. I mean, some actors are kind of like bad people in real life, but like she made big deals about like calling other actors out and everything.
Yeah,
you're like what?
Like if you're an unlikable person, then just like don't do any interviews. Like like just lay low so you don't hurt your film and hurt your product. I don't know.
Yeah. Did I ever tell you the time? Have you ever watched Man in the High Castle?
No, I haven't, but I heard it's good.
So I was actually reading the book, and then
our first podcast t-shirt will be no, I haven't, but I heard it's good.
Yeah. Yeah. So I was reading the book, and then like my buddy texted me. He goes, "Hey man, they're doing that." We were reading the book together so we could talk about it. Yeah. He's like, Amazon's like releasing the thing, and I was like, and then it's kind of like the first season's like the first book, it kinda, and then like they just wrote all new material for the rest of the seasons. But the first season, like there's a part where like one guy gets blackmailed into going to like Hitler's like fifth in line, fifth in power, like very high up guy. He's trying to stop war between Japan and Germany. Japan owns half the country, Germany owns the other half. It split the Rocky Mountains. So he's trying to stop the war, and then like he sends in there, and he's like blackmailed so his family isn't killed. To go kill Hitler by another guy who wants to take over for Hitler, who's gonna like make it worse because Hitler kind of wants the peace, but his like second in charge doesn't want the peace. Not like second in charge, but the guy that could take over power, like a coup. So he's blackmailed by that guy, and so the other guy goes to kill Hitler like reluctantly because he's friends with Hitler, so they would let him in and everything. So he goes in there, and Hitler like turns around and he's like, "Oh yeah," and he pulls a gun on him. He's like, "You shoot me, my guards will kill you, and everybody know to go kill your wife." He's like, "I know about the blackmail," and you're like, "Oh fuck yeah, Hitler, you still got it." Like you didn't watch it. You're like, "Wait a second, did I just root for Hitler?" And then like I got up and I took a shower because I just rooted for Hitler because like it was such a cool, like well written, well directed scene.
Yeah.
Like the director of this episode made me just like applaud Hitler, like you got it. And like me and Ray were sitting there like, oh shit. So I text my buddy, I'm like, hey, did you see that scene where you root for. He's like, yeah, I know, I rooted for Hitler too.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing. Like Thanos is the bad guy. When he punches Captain Marvel off screen, you're like, you kind of root for him. You're like, yeah, Thanos. Wait a second.
So you're saying it's Captain Marvel's worse than Hitler?
No. Thanos and Hitler are the same person.
Yeah.
And Captain Marvel and that guy,
Yeah.
they get
Yeah.
punched off screen basically.
Yeah.
It's a crazy scene, both of them.
But
What I'm saying, the short of that, I could edit that out and be like, sometimes you just root for the bad guy.
yeah. But yeah, but Alita, so it was just a great movie. I don't know. I think that's all I want to say about it.
Do you all right? If there's a sequel,
Yeah.
do you want them to focus on the war before, or do you want them to actually?
I
do
want
a
all
sequel?
these things.
Or do you want like
I
both?
want a prequel. I want a sequel.
Do you
so
want to?
I want a trilogy.
Do you want a Godfather 2?
So
You've never seen Godfather
No,
2.
so-
So Godfather
yeah.
2.
Yeah.
So the Godfather. You understand the premise of that?
Yeah.
It's about Don Corleone,
Yeah.
Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
In the middle of the movie, he gets shot.
Mm.
And, well, he doesn't die, but he gets shot.
Yeah.
And his sons kind of vie for power.
Mm.
So The Godfather 2 is when Michael has taken over and they flash back to when Don Corleone becomes Don Corleone. So it flashes back to the beginning of him rising for power and after the first movie.
Mm.
So do you want one of those where they tell both stories in the same, like a sequel and a prequel in the same movie?
I don't think we really need a prequels. I think we have a good understanding because so essentially what you find out through the movie is that so Earth apparently was very advanced and there was all these sky cities like Zolom,
Right.
and then there were these slums underneath, and the Mars technocracy essentially was in a war with Earth. So I guess it's a little bit like a Warhammer future.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say.
Yeah.
It's like a Warhammer where they go to war across the universe and
Yeah.
they're stuck in this dark ages of technology.
Yeah, exactly. So then you find out later in the movie that Alita was actually an elite Martian soldier, a Martian berserker, who was tasked with part of the assault force to destroy Zolom, and they failed, and every other city was destroyed except for Zolom. That's the only floating city still left.
Is that magic? No, engineering. And you're like, oh, okay, that's cool.
But it is a really Warhammer feeling because of that, because what ends up happening is we find out, so Aito puts her in what the body was made for his daughter, and then you find out a little later on that she has this like ancient, like 400-year-old heart, basically
300.
All right, yeah. But she basically has this heart from like the dark age of technology, essentially, that can't be made to reproduce now. And then she comes across a body that went with her heart and her brain that then Aito eventually puts her into, which is a similar thing. And he even tells her, like, no one can make this technology anymore. So if you damage this body, like, there's nothing I can do for you to fix it. So she's
just stuck with an old crappy body.
Exactly. So yeah, so I don't think I really need to know more about like the Mars Earth war. Like kind of makes me want to find the manga now, because I'm sure that explores it a little bit more.
Yeah, probably. You could just read the wiki.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a super interesting concept that here, so because there's so many layers to it, right? Because on the one hand, like a lot of the characters that we know in the movie want to get to Zolom, and that's like sort of the goal, because everyone lives in the slums and they want to get to Zolom where it's like perfection, essentially. But like Zolom's kind of a lie. Like you find out later in the movie that no one gets to Zolom. The only way to get to Zolom is to become the Motorball Grand Champion. And then you legitimately get to go to Zolom, which seems like a bad sporting system, because then like you would always lose your best stars.
No, it's you find out at the end that the actual person doesn't go.
No,
it's your brain.
No, I think the grand champion really goes.
No, he said it. He's like, no, I never send anyone to Zalem.
He never sends anyone to Zalem.
Yeah.
He personally never sends anyone to Zalem.
Yeah, but I don't think. I think it's literally just the brain, the eyes, and the central nervous system.
People he sends to Zalem get taken apart and dissected.
You think so?
Yeah, no, because Ido tells her that the only way to really get there is to become grand champion.
Oh, okay.
That anybody else is lying, basically. But yeah, that's what you find out. A lot of our characters are motivated by the promise to get to Zalem because it's supposed to be like this perfect. It's basically going to heaven. It's this perfect world where people are maybe immortal. So, I mean, certainly the main bad guy, like that Watcher guy, is whose name I can't remember.
Ed Norton.
Yeah, Ed Norton. So I it's implied that Ed Norton is immortal. That he's been there since at least the fall.
Also, real quick,
Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly, almost 50. Still smoking, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just throwing that out there.
So on the one hand, Zalem really is this lie, and Zalem really is evil because Zalem is using like lies and corruption to control the people in the slums below them. And then, according to this world, the Mars technocracy were evil because they invaded and destroyed all these sky cities, but the sky cities really were evil. So then when we find out that Alita is fighting to get to Zalem to help Hugo get to Zalem and to go to Zalem with him because that's his goal is to go to Zalem, when really she does want to get to Zalem to destroy Zalem from her previous life. And then in the end, when Hugo dies, when he gets destroyed by the defense ring, the part where Sam freaked out.
Defense rings were pretty cool.
Defense rings are pretty cool. Then she really does set herself to destroy Zalem again. So she's going to finish the mission. So there's like so many plot twists. It's such a good movie. I don't know. But it's I don't know. I just once the defense ring happened, and I mean, as long as we get sequels, fine. But once the defense ring happened, I just wanted to see her fuck shit up in Zalem. I just wanted her to see her walk up to Zalem and just start fucking killing people. And that's what I wanted. And that's what I want to see in a sequel. So, like, I just want more murder porn. But yeah, this movie was such a brutal movie. But what was interesting there too is that it was all, like I said, it was all robot violence. So it's not, I guess it's not, yeah, I guess it doesn't get an R rating, and it's not as, it doesn't seem as violent in some ways, but the violence that is there is just brutal.
But the brains are still human brains. Like cyborgs are still part human.
Also, I don't think they were originally humans though. I think they're still created brains, but I'm not sure.
No, they're real humans.
Okay,
that they switch out their body parts and shit like that. So yeah, that's what a cyborg is. You have to start as a human. Those are sci-fi rules, man.
But is she really a cyborg?
Yeah, her human brain and her human heart.
Well, she doesn't have a human heart.
Yeah, she has a human heart. It's encased by the power.
I don't know.
Yeah, the human heart is encased by the thing.
I thought the human heart was just a metaphor.
No, she has an actual human heart.
Yeah,
that's if you look at the case.
Okay.
You need the brain.
Yeah.
The heart and the spinal cord.
Okay.
That's what makes them. I guess the eyes too. I don't know.
And I thought too when he said about her having a normal teenage girl brain, I thought that was a metaphor. I thought that was like just that's how they designed it.
No, it's just a regular brain.
Okay.
Yeah. No, cyborgs start as humans.
But then how would the brain survive that long?
The heart. It's still pumping blood, I assume.
Yeah, but you like your telomeres shorten over time, and you get like cumulative cellular damage.
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Maybe it was
it was magic.
Hibernation.
Yeah.
All right, there's two things like
Yeah.
Dr. Ito is kind of a dick, and there's one thing I don't get. So it's two things I don't get.
Mm.
She loses her memory, right?
Yeah.
Completely.
Yeah.
He's like, you still got to feed your brain.
Yeah.
And he like hands her an orange.
Mm. Which was
And
the
she
orange with the
bites,
rind.
yeah, the orange and the rind. He's like, you're like, Hugo, you're kind of, or Ito, you're
Yeah.
kind of a dickhead. Like,
Yeah.
you're a piece of shit. And then they go out in the thing, and she's like, how's it up there? Magic? It's like, wait, you can't remember anything about it, but you know the word magic?
Yeah.
That's like one of those words that you don't need to know.
Mm.
There's a lot of the movie I didn't get, but like those two parts, like, you
Yeah.
didn't really have to keep it in.
I
Like,
don't-
Ito's kind of a dick.
I don't know. Some of the scenes, like,
And also, why didn't he, like, instead of sneaking back and covered in blood and everything, why didn't he just tell her he was a hunter warrior?
yeah, maybe. So that's unclear. So I mean, I don't know if he already knew that she was a warrior. So Rosa Salazar's quote about the movie was that movies like Terminator are, these women that are finding their warrior spirit, versus Alita is a woman who already has a warrior spirit who's trying to find her heart. So maybe Ito knew that she was a warrior and was just trying to keep her sheltered from any combat because he knew that would sort of like set her off. It's really not clear when he knew. Like did he know when he found her? Did he know when he first like analyzed her? Did he only know when she found the body and then he put the pieces together?
No, I think he found out when the giant mech robot,
Yeah.
and she's, like, ready for battle.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
I got it.
and she used a Panzerkunst.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Hey, real quick, there's
Yeah.
Tums in that second drawer. Can you pass me those Tums?
Yeah. That's a lot of Tums.
Yeah. Thanks. That's whole wheat Costa equate and acid tabs.
Yeah. But yeah, the first battle scene's awesome because like you don't know, like, again, another where there's just such good drama and tension because you think that Ito is the person who's going out and murdering these innocent women, and he has this cool giant hammer thing. And then she goes to stop him because he's going to murder this innocent woman. And the innocent woman is a cyborg, and she's going to kill them both. And then there's a bigger cyborg. And then she kicks their ass, and it's fucking awesome.
Right.
But there's so much tension in that scene.
Hey, how unwieldy, towards the end,
Yeah.
the murder ball,
Yeah.
the guy with, like, the blade arms.
Oh, yeah.
How unwieldy and stupid did that look?
Yeah.
I mean that's taken straight from the manga,
Yeah.
but I mean,
And does he, like, take them off in real life? Like, I don't understand.
I don't think so. And Zapan,
Yeah.
he's just a human face, human brain, and the rest of him is robot.
Yeah.
Like, does he still make testosterone?
I don't think so.
Like, that's crazy.
I think he's just programmed that way, yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, so that scene's awesome. And then where, she finds the body. I don't really mind all the Hugo scenes. Like, I mean, I didn't find them to be slow or boring or anything. I mean, James Cameron just such good world building because, like, even all those scenes, like the one scene that
I think the guy who played Hugo was just a bad actor. Like, if
Yeah.
they got a better actor, like, it would have been great.
True, but like the one scene, one of the videos I watched over the last week that was talking about the movie, the one scene they pointed out that really like encapsulates, sort of Alita in the movie is the scene where her and Hugo are up on the rooftop, and Hugo is like, "Oh, look at that," and she's looking down at the ghetto city, and she's like, "Oh, that's awesome," and he's like, "No, up there," and he points to Zalem, but like she just has this like, open, like, loving heart, but is like this fierce warrior.
And that's kind of what Dr. Ito wants. He wants her to become this loving girl. He wants her to be the daughter that was killed.
Yeah. And she refers to him as her father, like later on in the movie,
Right.
which is a touching scene.
He doesn't die at the end, right?
No.
No, okay, yeah.
No, that's one of the things I liked because I feel like in so many movies like this, Ito would die and then she would go into the sequel all alone, but she still has Ito for the sequel if it happens.
Right.
It was
And
Hugo that died, who drove everything down anyway.
Yeah. He had that awesome hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That hammer's awesome, man.
It's way better than Stormbreaker.
Yeah. It might be. Although Shared Universe Studios, you see them all taking pictures with the Stormbreaker?
Yeah. So we got to
That's
go
awesome.
up
We
there.
gotta go
Yeah.
there. Which hashtag is Shared Universe. Should be one of our hashtags this time, just for the link. But But yeah, and then the scene where then he refuses to put her in the berserker body. So then she goes to becomes a hunter warrior, goes to start trouble at that hunter warrior bar, and that scene's awesome.
Oh yeah, where she beats everyone's ass.
Yeah, she beats everyone's ass, and then I can't think of who's the big guy.
Grimshaw, Grimace.
Yeah, he has a weird name, Grimace.
Yeah, we'll go with Grimace.
So fucking Grimace comes in, and that was an awesome scene because then I don't know, it's just so dark. Like when he opens up the hole below and jumps down below, like
He's
that's
like,
so
come to my world. You're
like that's so dark and foreboding. Like the more like awesome James Cameron world building. Like it's enough to fight this big ass guy in the bar, but now she fights him like basically in hell. Like he basically takes her to hell to fight.
Have you seen what's it called? The guy with the dogs.
Yeah.
That's by the great actor Jeff Fahey.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which you also don't know
Yeah.
who he is. Good character actor and shit like that. No, he's awesome. I was like, I had to look it up. It was like, is that Jeff Fahey? And it was. So I was very excited about that.
When that scene, so it's essentially like a really like mythical trial. So she has to go to hell to fight fucking Grimace, and then she goes down there, and her body gets destroyed, and she gets cut up. And even being totally destroyed, she still rips his eye out. Like it's such an awesome scene.
It's like the scene in Game of Thrones where the girl's crushed and she's still like the little bear.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Lyanna Mormont. She's like crushed and she's like, well, fuck it, and she like stabs.
It's
stabs
like that
the
scene,
giant. Yeah.
but filmed well. Unlike that scene where they had the fucking shaky cam of Lyanna Mormont running at the giant. Yeah, exactly. Even with her body destroyed, she still fights back. And then the dog guy comes and saves her.
The dog guy awesome. And Ito.
And Ito, yeah.
Yeah.
It's an awesome scene. And then she gets her berserker body. And then as soon as she got her berserker body, it was well, that's it. I just want to see her fucking kill people now. Like this is right. like the movie. Like the movie just had such a good arc. Like each scene had such good tension and then build up, and then the whole movie just built and built and built, where you just wanted to see her get more and more powerful. And then when she goes, to fight in do like the motorball thing, that's a great scene too, where like Ito calls down and is like, "Oh, they're going to try to kill you," and she's like, "Well, who?" And he's like, "All of them." She's like, "Okay," yeah. Like she gives no fucks. Yeah. I don't know. And then I think my favorite scene might be where she. I really have nothing critical to say of the movie. I've no negatives at all.
This is like the first time ever. It's literally the first time ever.
My favorite scene might be, and it was like a real like Zelda Breath of the Wild feel. I feel like when you fight those sentry guys. I haven't played Breath of the Wild in a few months. I forget what they're called. Those again, like the ancient technology sentry guys.
I'm the Kevin of video games.
Okay.
Yeah,
but where she goes into like the Hunter Warrior temple and she just wrecks the whole fucking temple, and it's awesome.
One thing I don't get about the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, there's like the third thing is she destroys. It was an awesome scene. She destroys all the guards at the thing. They're all robot guards, so she doesn't really kill anyone. But then she comes through the glass ceiling of the building. Yeah. Why don't you just climb up the side of the building anyway and come through the top?
No, she wanted to kill all the guards first.
No reason. All right, got it.
just to prove the point.
Yeah, and best to me.
Yeah.
Best acting, best role, best character. Which I can never pronounce. Mashallah Ali.
Yeah.
The black dude.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yeah, he was really
good.
Like
he was like, even at the end, like he's like he gets stabbed, and he's like, "Huh, this is fatal," because it's like Ed Norton's character like going through him. He's like, huh. I'm like, this guy is great at act. Like he's the best performance of the whole movie because he plays like two different characters like flawlessly. He's like, huh, this is fatal, and he falls over. He's like, yeah, and like you're like, what? But it's the guy from Zalem.
Yeah.
In him. And it's like, he didn't care about his subordinate at all.
Yeah.
So it's like, you really get a dose of Edward Norton's character.
Yeah.
You get a dose of like how bad he actually is. Like, he doesn't care about this powerful guy.
Mm.
But he didn't. Vector. That's his name.
Vector,
Vector
yeah.
did make a good point, and he's talking to Hugo. He's like, "Why live like a poor person up there when you can live like a god down here?"
Mm.
You know, you're like, "Oh, it makes good sense. Makes a lot of sense." But is the whole Earth ravaged? Like, can they not
Yeah.
move? Because when they go outside of the city to the
Mm.
ship, the
I think civilization's destroyed.
right.
But yeah, you're right. There's wildlife and stuff outside.
Yeah,
There's
and
like
there's where the
greenery.
farms are and everything. I would just move out there.
Yeah. How about when she killed all the temple guards and then she takes the machine gun off of the one to destroy like the pay station thing?
Oh right, yeah,
So-
that's pretty cool.
I don't know. It was great. Did you? I don't know if you watch any of these because I know you're aware of them and I used to talk about them a lot, but I don't know if you really watch any of his videos. Any of the Preston Jacobs where he does like the episode reviews for Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I watched some with you. I think that's it.
So I'm really the Chad Summerchild of Alita. I don't know if you watch them enough to get the Chad Summerchild reference.
No, but I get what you're saying.
So
yeah,
because in the Preston Jacobs review, so he's a guy that covers Game of Thrones. He does a lot of crazy Game of Thrones fan theories, like real tinfoil hat stuff. And he did all these episode reviews, and he did them in character, where he had Sweet Robin, who was like pretty level headed, and then the Night's King, who was like a little negative, and then this character he invented called Chad Summerchild, who was just like a Game of Thrones bro. He just fucking loved Game of Thrones.
right.
So I'm really the Chad Summerchild of Alita. like basically all the Chad Summerchild parts of the Game of Thrones are like, oh, and then there was a dragon and they burned it. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I'm actually kind of glad because like the first time that you watched the movie, you're like, this is awesome. It's the best movie I've ever seen, and you have nothing negative to say because when you say something negative, I'm like, come on, Kevin, knock it off. You know, it's like you're real nitpicky about like small things. Do you see this fucking stupid? He had his lapel on the wrong side.
Oh,
movie
dude,
sucks.
Oh my god, dude, Allison's turned into this. So I've ruined an 8-year-old child. So Allison started with like tinfoil hat theories about movies and like we're watching so we watched the Third Descendants movie, and she's and like there's like the big scene where, and I mean spoilers for Descendants 3, but there's a big scene where like Audrey, who's like a good person, steals like the evil queen's staff from like the museum. And then, so like we're watching it, and she's like, oh, there's like no security around the staff. Doesn't make any sense. We're like, oh, she knocked over the apples in the last scene. Now there's no apples on the floor. This doesn't make any sense.
You've made her a negative person.
Yeah.
You, Carmen, and Allison should just watch movies together because you're like, we can't suspend disbelief. It's not in us.
Yeah. Well, and then she had like the tinfoil hat thing, because then she was like, maybe because one of the things in Disney is like how like love. Love is more powerful than any enchantment or whatever. So she's like, so maybe she had all this hate in her heart. Like she overcame the enchantment that was supposed to guard the staff because the hate was more powerful than the enchantment. So now she has the tinfoil hat theories about movies. So I don't know.
Speaking of Disney movies, are we done with Alita? Or?
I can keep saying positive things. But,
oh yeah, but speaking of Disney movies. Disney, and I'm thinking about canceling Netflix,
getting Disney Plus,
because the Mandalorian, all the Star Wars stuff looks really good.
Yeah.
Mandalorian looks awesome.
All the Marvel series look great.
All the Marvel series,
but there's no Spider-Man. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah, but they're not releasing in theaters, but they're doing Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Lady and the Tramp was my dad's favorite movie. One of his favorite movies. I think it was like Rocky and the Blues Brothers.
Okay.
I don't know what his favorite movie is. He wasn't a big... But Lady and Tramp's like one of his favorite movies ever. Cool. Like we used to like, hey, nothing's on. You want to watch Lady and the Tramp? Like, no, all right. 100. So they're doing a live action Lady and the Tramp. Huh. But they have like actual like human characters and the dogs aren't CGI.
Okay.
Yeah.
How are they going to do the spaghetti scene?
I don't know. Yeah. Maybe CGI.
Yeah.
But
only the spaghetti CGI.
But if they comes in theaters, I'm going to see it opening night.
All right.
Yeah. But I'm thinking about getting rid of Netflix and getting the Disney Plus because all the Star Wars and all the Marvel shit looks awesome.
Well, I'm really upset about this because I feel like a lot of the upcoming Marvel stuff does look really good, but I mean the Spider-Man news is like terrible.
No, it'll be back. Spider-Man will be back. You know why?
I think so.
They just both want more money.
I mean, I think so because, I mean, what I hope is that, and for anybody that doesn't know, I mean, basically, you know, now they made 5 Spider-Man movies and the entire MCU appears to be based around Spider-Man as the replacement for Iron Man, who has been the helm of the MCU for the last 10 years. Now all of a sudden, Sony and Disney can't come together on a deal to continue, you know, Spider-Man being in the MCU because Sony owns Spider-Man.
Right.
Because 20 years ago, Marvel Studios was broke and started selling off all their characters.
It'll be back.
I mean, I think so too. You know, one thing I heard was that, you know, I mean, essentially Disney needs Spider-Man a lot more than Sony needs Disney. Like if Sony made a standalone Spider-Man movie, they would still make a ton of money. But Disney really needs Spider-Man for the MCU. So like, how are they going to retcon around? Like, I mean, he's basically Iron Man now. He's I mean, based on the last Spider-Man movie, he's basically the head Avenger. So how is he not going to be in the movies now? Doesn't make any sense.
He'll be back. Basically, what it is, Marvel had rights to the merchandise.
Yeah.
Sony had rights to the box office.
Yeah.
And what I heard from one source is that Sony wants some of the merchandise. And what I heard from another source is that Marvel wants some of the box office. So they couldn't come to a deal. Well, what they should do is just 50-50 everything, and then you'd be okay. It's just about money. That's all it is.
Well, there's supposedly another thing that Marvel said that Kevin Feige would be like really busy with like the Fantastic Four and like the Eternals and stuff, so might not be as focused on the upcoming Spider-Man films, which like Sony didn't like because obviously Kevin Feige is a genius. So that was like another potential thing. But I mean, I don't know. But then Tom Holland and Robert Downey Jr. posted an Instagram post together, so everyone thought it was going to be solved.
It'll be solved.
But the only thing that was funny about that is there was, you know, it was an Instagram post where Tom Holland's holding an Iron Man figurine and Robert Downey Jr. is holding a Spider-Man, and Tom Holland posted, you know, something like we did it, Mr. Stark. But they're like out in the middle of nowhere too, and then the character who plays Ned like commented on it like, "Oh, you guys didn't tell me." So it was like
that's pretty funny.
It was like a real Ned thing to do. Yeah. But no, I'm like really upset about this Spider-Man news. I mean, I do hope it gets resolved, but because then supposedly Sony is still going to make Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. So what are they going to do? Fucking completely reboot it all the fuck over again?
I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't, like, none of it makes any sense. Like, I think like people are going to be pissed off.
They can make one.
Yeah.
Without anything from the MCU.
Yeah.
They can make one.
Yeah.
But past that, they can't do anything.
So, I don't know. But, you know, supposedly like some of the math is, you know, like if Sony makes, you know, $700 million on a movie, then they're going to make more money than if they made $1 billion with an MCU movie, essentially.
That's stupid.
But
they should worry about the stakeholders, not the stockholders.
Yeah, like just make a fucking good movie. Like, I don't know, like this is what, like, it's a shame because I mean I've been a huge MCU fan for years now, and this is what's going to kill it. It's going to be the real world bullshit. It's going to be these fucking contract negotiations. It's going to be people like Brie Larson saying shit. Like, I don't know, like. I don't know. Oh, that was the other comparison I wanted to make. I kept thinking it earlier, but then we're talking about other stuff. Is I feel like Alita. So Alita is girl Black Panther. Because I've said it multiple times before. Part of what makes Black Panther awesome is that it's not a black superhero movie. It's just a fucking awesome superhero movie.
It's a superhero movie. It just happens to take place in Africa.
Yeah. So it's a great movie. It's another. Like they don't tell us it's black power. They show us a powerful black man.
Right.
And it's fucking awesome. And Alita is the same way, I feel like. I don't know. And you don't have to put down white people to put up black people.
White men.
And you don't have to put down men to bring up women. Like, that's the difference between Alita
All I know is you convinced me. I'm excited about Alita 2, which should come out. Other than that, I'm good.
Yeah. Except for the final scene where she went, where they're introducing her motorball, and she holds her sword up, points it towards Zalem, and then that's the last scene in the movie.
Yeah.
I need to know what happens next.
Cliffhanger.
Oh my god.
All right, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to this week's Whole Week Costa, where we did Alita Battle Angel. Next week we should be doing, and I forget what it is already. It's not Captain Marvel.
Did you watch it already?
No.
Okay.
You said you weren't going to watch it, so I figure I'd watch it closer.
Okay.
Place in the Sun.
Oh yeah, should be good.
Yep. So, if you want to know what A Place in the Sun's about, listen to last week's Whole Week Costa.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. For Kev, I'm Jay. Have a good night. Extra minutes.
No.